How can I create easily reusable icons as my course? I'm going to watch this episode of 5 Minutes of Canvas. I'm Greg Beyer, and I love making videos on how to teach with technology. I've been teaching with technology since the days of HyperCard, and throughout my career with Cosumnes River College and the online network of educators. If you like these videos, please subscribe and join our community. Adding visual consistency to course design can help students privileged with sight know where they are on their learning journey inside our Canvas courses. And one way to do that is to use icons deliberately placed as markers or guideposts. Effective alt text makes sure that all of our students will have the opportunity to use those icons as wayfinders. In this video, I'm going to show how to use the Rich Content Editor Icon Maker to create images for this purpose. While there are many ways to make these kinds of images outside of Canvas and import them for this purpose, there is an organizational benefit to using the built-in tool that I'll share during the demonstration. Note that this must be enabled by your Canvas system administrator. It is either on or off for an entire instance, and it's not a feature option for the course or sub-account. If it's on for your instance, then you'll be able to follow along with demo time. In this example, there is a table on my Canvas syllabus page that shows the learning outcomes for a history class. The table includes a translation of the official jargon-laden outcomes into language that will be easier for students to understand, and that translation includes a focus word. The focus words for this class are memorize, recognize, and analyze. Following the table is a note stating that the course's activities indicate how students will achieve these outcomes. I want it to be easier for my students to understand that connection, and I do that with icons. In edit mode, the first thing I do is add a column to this table so I have a place to put each icon and give it a header. Then I select the Icon Maker button and create Icon Maker icon. I use the focus word for an outcome as its icon title, so the first one is memorize. This tool creates an image, so it needs alt text. To make it meaningful, I write, "This will help you achieve the memorize outcome for our class." I choose the icon shape and size. I like having a small icon. The color can be a selection from this palette or it can be any hex code. The outline is the border. The text appears as part of the icon, and I use the focus word for this outcome. I keep the text color black and without background because that is high contrast. For the text position, I select bottom third because that places it closer to the icon. Then I select apply. Next, I will show the image options. For the second outcome, the focus word is recognize. I repeat the title, parallel the alt text, and keep the same options for text color and placement. But instead of a shape, I choose a single color image. There are only a handful of options here, but Instructure has shared that they are working on adding more flexibility. The tooltip for each shape indicates what each shape is supposed to represent, and for this example, I select the one that looks like books with a roof on top, the library, and then select apply. Focus word for the third outcome is analyze. This time I choose a multicolor image. Again, there are a few options, but hopefully there will be more coming soon. For this final one, I select the globe and then select apply and then save. I have created 3 icons and added them to the syllabus page. Remember that I want to help my students understand the connection between course activities and course outcomes. To do that, I want to add the icon to each assignment that has an outcome connection. This is where I benefit from the connection between the Icon Maker and the Rich Content Editor. While editing the instructions for an assignment, I pick an insertion point and select Save Icon Maker Icons from the Icon Maker button in the toolbar. This assignment is a writing assignment, which helps my students achieve the outcome with the focus word Analyze, so I select that icon from the list of saved icons. I double-check the alt text, and then select Save. Now my students can navigate through the course and easily understand how they will demonstrate each of the course outcomes. These icons, of course, are not limited to assignments or other activities, but could also be placed on a content page. The easy reuse of icons created with a Rich Content Editor Icon Maker make it a nice tool to communicate consistently throughout a Canvas course. Thank you for watching this video. I would love to know in the comments section, how will you use the Icon Maker in your class? Please share as well what things you want explained in just 5 minutes. Never stop learning, and I'll see you in the next one.